Hey, welcome to vaporsalley.com. This is my design of the CoolTube, which cost me about £1.50 to make. We're going to break this down. As you see, basically it consists of a hidden button behind, this is a BMW logo. This is just a plastic sleeve that can be changed. You can print your own at home to put round. We're going to break it down now. So basically on the end here, which I haven't included in the price because you'll put your own atomizer on, you'll put your own cartomizer on in this case. This is one of the E2s, the Royal Smokers cartomizers, which I find very good. Basically I wanted to build it so it cost the minimum amount of money for practicality. I went through a lot of different stages with it, trying to eliminate a switch altogether to make it even cheaper, but using bent pieces of sprung metal didn't really have the reliability or the safety that I wanted. So in the end I ended up using a tactile switch, which are very easy to pick up from your local electronics store. Let's start by breaking one down. On each end, all we have is a 20mm grommet. These are used in the electrical profession for passing cables through. You can pick them up from lots of hardware retailers. You can either buy them singly, a lot of the times they come in packs of 100. My price has been worked out on bulk purchase because I buy 100 of these at a time for my job because I'm an electrician. So you may have to spend a little bit more on purchasing the items in bulk or separately. So basically we have two grommets. There's one. It's just like a little rubber disc. On the other end we have another. This one we've drilled a hole in so the cartomizer can go through. It's connected onto the cartomizer by just drilling a hole through and pushing it through. There we go. Used a 7mm drill bit for that. Here now, this screw thread on the 510 cartomizers and atomizers are a very specific thread. I come to a dead end finding a nut that would fit it. I went to a lot of different suppliers in the UK and none of them could provide something without custom manufacturing it. You could use the end of an old battery, but again you might not have one at hand. I didn't have one that I particularly wanted to cut up at this point. I've already made different mods and used most of my crackered batteries for that, so I wanted to make something that you can pick up off the shelf. All this is what we call in the UK a wall plug. This is an 8mm wall plug. They're used for, you drill a hole in a wall, you push this plastic plug in and then you screw a screw into that plug so it acts as an anchor. It has both ends chopped off to give a little plastic nylon kind of tube which actually screws on very well to an atomizer or a cartomizer. As you can see, there we go. And that was the washer springing off. There's the washer. That's just a standard M8 washer. An M7 would probably be better, but they don't do them in the UK. Anything with a 7mm thread they don't do. It's more of a Japanese stroke Chinese thing, I was told. You may have a supplier for those, but I don't. We'll put the cartomizer out of the way because that's really not part of the design at present. So we have this cut off wall plug, we have two grommets, one with the hole drilled in, an M8 washer. This is what they call a piece of overflow pipe. It's actually 21.5 millimeters in diameter. Basically, they use it in the UK as an overflow pipe for boilers and things like that. You can pick it up at any hardware store or even plumbing supplies. You might get it cheaper. You'll probably have to buy it in a length. It often comes in a 3-meter length, which means you could make a lot of cool tubes, as I'm doing at the moment. Basically, it's 10 centimeters long. That's how we've cut it. Straight down there. Straight down there, cut straight down there. Inside, on the outside of here, to give it its design, I've used overhead projector film. Overhead projector film is something they put on overhead projectors. You can print on it with laser printers. I think they do a version for inkjet printers as well. You don't necessarily need overhead projector film. It'd be nice to buy a sheet of overhead projector film to start off with, and you could print on normal paper, and basically you make a sleeve for your tube. You'll see some badly put on silver foil here to give a nice effect on certain parts of the logo. Basically it's just a tube of foil, just a tube. Basically it's just a tube of overhead projector film. It's wrapped around, cut to size, wrapped around the 10 centimeter 21.5 millimeter overflow pipe, and wrapped around and then glued at the edge. There we go, all the way through. I print on the reverse side of it, and I print my logos for the CoolTube in reverse. So basically whatever image you created, or you can download one from the CoolTube forum that I've set up, and you print it in reverse, so that way you're actually wrapping it inside out around the tube. And when you wrap it inside out around the tube, it means it's protected so it won't scratch off, and you get this lovely shiny finish, so it looks really professional. That's the so I've called that a wrap. That's the CoolTube wrap. You can change your wrap like you change your mood. The tube. Basically we have, if you can see there, a tactile switch. These switches, you can pick them up from your like places like Maplin's in the UK, probably Radio Shack in America. They're selling for around, in the shops, around 99 pence each. You can actually get them cheaper if you go onto places like eBay. They are retailing for something like, I think I paid £3 for 20. So very cheap. Seems very reliable. I've used these for different mods I've done in the past, and I haven't had one fail yet. That's not saying that they won't fail, because they might. For the amount of time they're used, they draw, you know, a fair bit of current through them, but it's only for a short period of time, so it doesn't seem to create any damage to the switch. The 21.5 millimeter overflow pipe has a 10 millimeter hole drilled straight through. That way we can mount the switch in there, and we've mounted it quite flush, so it doesn't require much pressing. It's only very gentle pressing required. Here we have literally a piece of paper stuck on with a bit of insulating tape. That's basically because I drilled a couple of holes side by side here. That's where I mounted an LED behind, so that would create the illuminated logo when you press the button. There we go. A bit bright for the camera, I suspect. Inside there, your top, you can see the battery. In the bottom, I created a very simple clip.